what they are. For the inventory analysis, which during the raw material and energy input to the system, and the solid, waterborne, and airborne wasted produce as output are quantified. So we talk about the input aspect and also the output aspect from the inventory analysis stage. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome to the online class of Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia. With me, Fedi Ameraldo, for the subject of environmental accounting. For these sessions, we specifically will discuss the topic about life cycle cost assessment. For this topic, we have a learning objective. After studying the chapter, you should be able to describe the life cycle cost assessment model. Before we go to the what is life cycle assessment model, we need to know what the definitions of life cycle assessment. By definitions, life cycle assessment is to identify the environmental consequences of a product through its entire life cycles and search for improvements. It is important for us to see the aspect that we could enhance, especially the product that we produce and how the products are impact to the environment. And if we try to elaborate, the life cycle assessment is used as a tool to assess the environmental impact of a product, a process, also activity throughout its life cycles. From that, we can extract the raw material through the processing, transport, use, and also disposal of the products. And as you can see in the your screen, the product life cycle stage is actually divided into two categories, which are the input and also the output. Now, from the aspect of the input, we would like to see the raw materials. As you can see in the pictures in the screens, there is a raw material there where it is controlled by the suppliers. And from the raw material, then we go to the process of productions. And in this stage of the productions is controlled by the manufacturers. As we know that the manufacturing company, they got the raw material, then they produce the products into a certain form of products. And after that, also controlled by the manufacturers, the product is packaged. And the package also some point include the aspect of environmentals. Next, we will discuss it more after this. And after the package, the product could be used in the hand of customers. And this stage is controlled by the customers. The product could be recycling, and also the product also can be used and maintained. And even the product could be disposals by the customers. So this is the product life cycle stage. And when we talk about the life cycle assessment stage, like I have mentioned before, actually there are three formal stages that we need to concern when we talk about life cycle assessment. What they are: for the inventory analysis, which during the raw material and energy input to the system, and the solid, waterborne, and airborne wasted produce as output are quantified. So we talk about the input aspect and also the output aspect from the inventory analysis stage. And this also covers the types, the quantities input which we needed during our input as the materials, and also we concern the environmental release when we do the process for output of the raw materials. When we talk about the output or related to environmental release, we need to ensure that our products is concerned with the environmental standard. And when we talk about the impact analysis, it is when an attempt is made to link between environmental inputs and also the output to the real world. What is the environmental problem that we're facing during our product go to the public, consumed by the public. And this also cover how the effect of the competing designs, which mean we concerned how our product designed to conform to the environmental standard. And also we make a rank for the relative of effect of our product. So this cover in the stage of impact analysis. And the last but not least, within the three formal stage on life cycle assessment, we have improvement analysis, when the conclusions are drawn and potential areas of improvement identified. And this stage is actually have the objective to reduce the environmental impact in general. All right, now I have a figure 1 here, as you can see also in the screen, related to life cycle inventory or LCI. In inventory analysis, the raw material and also the energy inputs to the system and also the solid, waterborne and airborne wastes produced as output are quantified. Here we have input there. We divide it into aspect or point that related to energy, and it could be how the raw material acquisitions, and it could be also the form of manufacturing and processing and formulations. And we also have distributions and also the transportations that cover the aspect of energy when we talk how the energy as inputs and then process in the system boundary. And also we have a raw material aspect where we talk about the product or the material, of course, that come from the mostly come from our nature. And in terms of how the system boundary proceed the raw materials is we concern on the issue of the raw material could be used, reused and maintained, or the raw material also could be recycled, and also the raw material could be we manage in order to reduce the waste that as the end up products. And as output on the right side, you can see the waterborne waste that is this the output of input from the energy that also could be airborne wasted, where we can find how the manufacturer, the factory produce the related to the climate and also the pollutions there, and also the solid wasted that also could the residuals of product that we use in order or energy that we process during our system boundary. And also we have the aspect of environmental release, because when we talk about the raw material, of course there is a certain amount of residuals, and we need to calculate that as output. And also the usable product, of course, because we start from the raw material and the output we expect the product are usable. And this is the analysis related to the inventory. And in this table we figure out two type of cups that come from the paper cup, and another one is polyfoam cup. And as mentioned before, that when we talk about the inventory analysis, we want to see the input, the raw materials or energy or other aspect that we identify as the starting process. As you can see, for the paper cup, the material usage per cup, we identified, for example, here we have a wood and we also have bark, and we quantify that as a gram. and also the petroleum. That's also the material that we use as the cup productions. And here also we concern about the finished weight there. And the paper cup, for example, in terms of wood and bark, they contain 33 grams compared to polyfoam. They have no wood and bark there, that because that appear 0.0. And in terms of petroleum, for example, the paper cup contains 4.1 grams compared to the polyfoam cup only 3.2. And for the finished weight in totals, in amount is calculated based on the gram. You can see that paper cup, the final or the finish for the total weight of the product is 10 grams, and the polyfoam is more heavy compared to the paper cup, which is 11.5. And all these items in the slide, that in the screen, that you can see that related to utilities per mg of the materials, that cover steam, power, cooling waters, water equivalent per mg. That's all the things in analysis of inventory. We calculate of this information in our analysis. So I hope you can imagine how the inventory analysis work in a company when they do the analysis aspect for input, output related to the materials in inventory.
Terima kasih sudah menyaksikan video pembelajaran ini. Jangan lupa like, komen dan subscribe, serta nyalakan tanda loncengnya agar kalian tidak ketinggalan informasi update lainnya.
Selamat datang di Kampus Tour Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia. Di Kampus Tour kali ini aku awali di gerbang utama Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia. Universitas yang dibangun pada tahun 2000. Nah, jika kalian masuk ke universitas ini, kalian akan disuguhkan dengan pemandangan arsitektur yang sangat luar biasa, perpaduan antara gaya Eropa dan juga tradisional Provinsi Lampung. Ayo! Nah, ini adalah monumen robotik sangat ikonik. Monumen ini dibangun karena tim dari Robotik Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia memenangkan juara nasional kontes robot seni Indonesia pada tahun 2011. Yuk, selanjutnya kita akan menuju ke gedung utama Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia. Ya, ini adalah gedung utama Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia, pusat ruang informasi, penerimaan tamu, dan juga pendaftaran mahasiswa baru. Di sini juga banyak sekali penghargaan mahasiswa dari tingkat nasional maupun internasional. Dan tersedia juga TV touchscreen untuk kalian yang ingin tahu seputar informasi di Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia. Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia telah mendapatkan akreditasi baik sekali oleh Badan Akreditasi Nasional Perguruan Tinggi pada tahun 2020. Nah, saat ini aku sedang berada di Perpustakaan Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia dengan fasilitas sistem perpustakaan berbasis online public access katalog. Perpustakaan Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia juga pernah meraih penghargaan BI Corner terbaik di Provinsi Lampung loh, tahun 2019. Aplikasi di perpustakaan ini berbasis otomasi semua loh. Kalau kalian ingin mencari buku-buku, kalian bisa membuka sistem yang ada di sini. Sekarang kita berada di Taman Jurassic Park atau Taman Dinosaurus. Biasanya mahasiswa duduk-duduk di sini untuk sekedar diskusi atau menunggu jam pelajaran tiba. Nah, patung di belakang saya, ini patung dinosaurus, ada filosofinya. Katanya kita sebagai manusia harus bisa beradaptasi supaya tidak punah. Jadi harus menuruti perkembangan zaman. Saat ini kita berada di gelanggang mahasiswa Dr. H.M. Nasrullah Yusuf. Gelanggang ini digunakan sebagai tempat pengembangan mahasiswa baik di bidang seni, budaya, dan juga olahraga. Nah, kalau ini nih rumah tradisional adat Lampung, Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia. Kerasa banget ya nuansa tradisionalnya. Biasanya anak-anak mahasiswa akan datang ke sini hanya untuk bersuah foto ataupun berdiskusi. Keren banget. Kedatangan saya disambut oleh dua patung gajah yang sedang bermain bola. Dan di belakang saya ini adalah Fakultas Sastra dan Ilmu Pendidikan. Biasanya mahasiswa ataupun tamu undangan yang datang ke kampus ini bersuah foto di depan gedung ini. Ayo! Nah, kalau ini nih tempat yang hits banget di kalangan mahasiswa Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia, yaitu Gedung Rektorat Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia dengan gaya Andalusia Spanyol. Di depannya banyak terdapat taman-taman dan juga tempat duduk yang biasa dipakai mahasiswa untuk berdiskusi dan juga bersantai. Adalah salah satu tempat ikonik di Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia, yaitu Masjid Asmaul Yusuf. Bukan saja digunakan sebagai tempat ibadah, tetapi masjid ini juga sering digunakan oleh mahasiswa UKM Islam dalam mengadakan acara keagamaan. Nah, di depan Masjid Asmaul Yusuf ini, kalian akan disuguhkan dengan pemandangan taman yang indah dan juga asri. Sekarang kita ada di Teknopark. Yuk, ikut. Nah, ini sih tempat favoritnya mahasiswa karena banyak sekali bunga-bunga dan lingkungannya sangat asri ya. Jadi banyak mahasiswa yang bersuah foto di sini dan juga tempat ini merupakan jogging tracknya mahasiswa. Biasanya kalau sore ataupun pagi mahasiswa banyak yang jogging di sini ataupun olahraga. Nah, kita sampai di destinasi terakhir kita dalam kampus tour kali ini. Mas Nia saat ini sedang berada di Gedung Utama Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia, melihat pemandangan area kampus Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia. Jangan lupa terus ikuti kampus tour part 2 selanjutnya.